You've mentioned that you've reported on similar issues over the years, since 9/11 especially, where filmmakers, but also journalists, I mean, for example, I'm an Arab American, I'm originally Palestinian, but I'm an American citizen, and I've been detained or held for several hours at Logan Airport, at other airports. Now, I'm not saying whether that's good or bad, but in this story, the source pointed Tessa to the Customs and Border Protection policies as saying, quote, detention is only used when an individual is found with illegal drugs, undeclared money, or is trying to enter the country illegally. Given your experience reporting, is that true? Is that the only time when anyone, let alone Palestinians, are detained, or a woman like his wife who was wearing the hijab, as the Israeli director Guy Davidi pointed to?
No, it's absolutely ludicrous. Customs will all the time peek out people without having to explain why they're doing it, to take them to a secondary screening room, to interrogate them further about why they're coming to the United States, to request additional documentation. And there's all kinds of evidence that the people who end up getting targeted have their ethnicity or their national origin or their race or their religion used as a factor in determining who gets selected. And as you said, you've been taken to that detention room on several occasions. Most Muslims who travel into or out of the United States, including Muslim Americans, have very similar stories. The idea, the very notion that this is a Palestinian filmmaker traveling with a wife wearing a hijab who produced a film critical of Israel and the occupation, who was just randomly and indiscriminately selected, almost like he won a bingo game or the lottery, completely irrespective of those attributes, is completely ludicrous. At the very least, anyone calling themselves a journalist would have serious skepticism about that claim, given the history of the United States over the last decade. And that's what's so offensive about what this story did. Instead of presenting that skepticism or operating within the context of those facts, it simply went and mindlessly wrote down and copied what a government officials claimed happened without presenting any of the facts that called the veracity of those claims into question, and then dressed it up as a news story that almost proved that Michael Moore was lying and was simply seeking publicity. It was a reflexive siding with government authority and power, the very opposite ethos of what journalism is supposed to be about.